Hi, welcome to Survival Fountain of Youth. So we've just got back from Sulphur Island. We brought a lot of stuff back with us. So let's just have a look at what we were able to do with the stuff that we brought back. Firstly, we came back with a lot of sulfur because, as the name suggests, Sulphur Island is where we get that stuff. And sulfur was the missing ingredient in our ability to make gunpowder. Because if we just have a look at this, so saltpeter is another ingredient. So if we just look at blueprints, we needed saltpeter, we needed ash, which we can get from the forge and the smelter, and we needed the sulfur, and that's what we came back with from Sulphur Island. So we were able to knock up, what was that, 31 gunpowder, 32. It took 17 hours, by the way. But now we've got lots of gunpowder. If we just look at what we can do with that, we can make shot charges. So we'll look at that later, not today, because obviously shot charges are going to be used in weapons. And from what I understand, the guns are kind of trophy items because the crossbow does so much damage per shot, and this thing is also, the iron saber is also extremely powerful. So I've got a feeling from everything I've heard, the guns are far weaker than those two. So we'll leave off from that for the time being. But anyway, what else did we do? We came back with 3 books. Now, if we just go to character and we look here, now, one of them was a book called The Canon of Medicine. So if we just look down at medicines here, that one gave us the ability to make, it unlocked the antiseptic recipe. And if we just, I just put a bunch of stuff in here. So that would be this one here. If we just look at that, we were now able to make this, and it treats all types of diseases, cures 3 disease degrees, and restores 14 health. Okay, and that one took, just looking at crafting and antiseptic, that one required 3 of those mold things. We found a bunch of that on Sulphur Island, remember? Plus some alcohol. We were able to make the antiseptic potion. So that was the medicine book. Now we also found a drying book. So just going back to character and looking in our drying skills. That one gave us the ability to dry food without salt. And that's a pretty big one because making salt over and over was a real pain in the neck to keep drying food, to not being able or not having to make that anymore. That's a pretty good one. I like that one. So third, we also got a book of the hunt. Now just looking at, that would be shooting. Now that gave us the ability to aim while moving, so I'm kind of not sure about that one and whether it's going to be useful or not. I can't imagine it will be, but maybe it will be. We'll see, but that one not so great, I think. Now, what else did we find? We got a bunch of crocodile skins. Now, crocodile skins, you have to go through the process of drying them. Firstly, you have to process them here. Then once you've got the processed crocodile hide or caiman hide, you have to dry it there, and once you've got it dried, you can make the leather back in this machine again. And once you have the caiman leather, you can make this puppy here, which is the crocodile leather bag. So up to now we've had a leather backpack, and we've just been able to make the crocodile leather bag. So if we look at our carrying capacity of 70, as soon as we equip this guy, that goes up to 77, which is a pretty nice upgrade. So we don't need that leather backpack anymore. We'll stash that away later. So what else did we do? We found a bunch of seeds. Now, if we just look at our gardening over here, I put in another gardening spot. And all these 4 previously planted plants are now ready to collect. So let's just do that. Take everything there. So that's hibiscus, sage, ocotillo. That's 8 of those. Dragon fruit resources are being restored. Okay. So that one's not ready yet, but we did find a bunch of seeds. Now I'm not gonna plant the ocotillo, but we did find tomato seeds. We'll do those. We'll do pineapple. I got some feijoa that wasn't at Sulphur Island. That was somewhere else. I think it was the ruins in the north of this island. But we also got some pumpkin seeds and some pepper seeds, all of which we can plant. So let's go ahead and do that. So we just press E on this guy and then select recipe. So it highlights all the ones we've got. So we've got that one. So let's do that. And let's do that again. So that's feijoa. So this one is going to be pineapple. Again, and this one's going to be tomatoes. Again, this one's going to be pumpkin. And this one will be pepper. So it's nice that it shows you what you've got anyway. You haven't got to fiddle around with them. So this is fully upgraded, and I made sure that the water tank was full. It's just used one somewhere, but we'll keep an eye on that. Reduces time taken to grow plants by 25%. All right, now if we also look at this one, I previously mentioned that you can only use the fertilizer here. So we're going to need 12, so let's do that. You can only use fertilizer on plants that have already grown. So for example, these two here, I've already fertilized this one, and it's I have to do it again in 4 days' time because that was previously grown. But this is an example of one where I have not fertilized yet. So it is defined as an adult plant, i.e. it's already previously grown. So now we just need to fertilize and confirm. And that's now fertilized for 6 days, which will speed up, allegedly, the maturing of the front of the plant. So same with the dragon fruit there. Fertilize. It uses 3. Done. I think it uses 3. No, it only used 1. I think it used 3 on the first go. But that was a refertilization, I think. So anyway, that's how that works. So now we just got to wait, and a couple of days' time, all these will be ready. We can fertilize these once they've grown. We can't do it right now, as we can see. All right, so that's all our plants done. Not much more we can do there. I don't want to plant 2 of these, and that's just stuff we've got previously. Okay, and I think we'll stick the sticks in there for making more alcohol. All right, so what else did we do? Now, I did actually go back to Sulphur Island because there were some pepper plants that I missed, but also some death caps mushrooms, and also some toadstools, because we were able to do a few things with that. So if we just look at what we were able to make with the pepper, it was this thing here called the heating ointment. So if you just go to crafting and just look at what it cost to make that, that was pepper and some animal fat. And the crocs gave us a bunch of that. So when I went back for the pepper, I was able to pick up some animal fat off of one or two of the dead crocs as well. And that enabled us to make this heating ointment. Now, helps fight the effects of cold and frost chill. And just go to the thing here, cold protection for 1 whole day. That's pretty good. So that means we do have the navy coat, which will do that for us, but that's a pretty good thing to have. So that'll be useful in the colder regions for sure, because you just pop one of those every day, and all you need is 1 pepper plant and 1 fat. Fat's easy to get. Pepper plant, we've just planted 1, and I think that's going to yield 3 or 4 each time. So we could pretty much use that all the time, every time we are in a colder region. So I think that's a bonus there. Now the death caps and the toadstools. I think we've got some death caps, yeah. So if we just look at the blueprints on that, that makes a buffalo potion. So if we just look at crafting. Now, it used to be the case that you needed living water to make all of these things. So they weren't really worth it, because if you just look at our inventory here, we've collected 12 living water so far by looting 3 entire regions and a little bit of the 4th region, the new one. But that's not a lot. So it meant that if we were going to make anything like the buffalo, snake, or puma potions, and each one required living water, then that was very restricting. But no longer the case. So now we can make, just going to this, go to the buffalo potion. We can now make it with alcohol, death caps, and toadstools. We've found a bunch of these at Sulphur Island. We had a bunch of alcohol on us. And if you look at what Buffalo Potion does, heals all diseases and restores maximum health. So that one's pretty huge. As mentioned, these weren't makeable before because they all required living water. So we had a lot of death caps. So just on what we found at Sulphur Island, we were able to make 16 of these, for example. So that's kind of our ultimate med right there. A couple of other things. As mentioned, the Puma Potion and the Snake Potion. They used to require living water, so again we're kind of out of bounds because of the limitation on living water, but not so anymore. Because it also used to be the case, if you just look at Snake Potion here, it also used to be the case that there was no use or no known use for Jackal Fangs in the game. So this has now changed, so that Jackal Fangs plus alcohol will now make the Snake Potion. And this temporarily halts consumption of food, water, and energy. So if you just look for how long, that's a whole day. And again, it's not that expensive. One thing we did not do at Sulphur Island, I just looked back at the video, I wasn't picking up the tendons from the puma and the, I think the other cat there was a jaguar. So if we just look at the puma potion, and just look at the ingredients for that. Hang on a second. Puma. That we can now make with jaguar tendons. So we passed up the ability to pick up one of these, for example. So I won't be doing that in the future. I'll be picking up all the tendons. Still no use for the puma tendons, as far as I could see. But jaguar tendons plus alcohol gives you a puma potion. No idea why that isn't a puma tendon, given that there are puma tendons in the game. But anyway. So all those potions now are readily available, easy to use, or rather easy to make. And I think that's going to be a game changer right there. Now, the frogs. If we just look at... We picked up... when I went back to pick up all the toadstools, or the toadstools and the death caps, etc., managed to find another couple of blue frogs. And if you look at the blueprints for those, it says dried frog. Basically, that's the only thing you can do with it. So I dried one, and there is no blueprint for that. So I'm guessing that's some tech that we haven't got yet. And I believe there is a shaman that we need to meet at Crocodile Island. And we have to give him a poisonous frog carcass or have it on our inventory or something like that. So we'll take all this with us to Crocodile Island. And I'm guessing you won't want a dried one, but we'll take both just in case. And we'll see what's up with the shaman. Now, what else? There was the ability to upgrade this as well. If we just look at the requirements, we could have done this before actually, but we had to make a clay mold for pistols. And we could do that in the kiln. So I'm not sure if that got unlocked at some point or not, but we do have it now. So here are the ingredients. Guessing we'll need an axe or something to upgrade this. So upgrade. That kind of suggests it's bigger. Will it go in there? I did see green for a second there. Just gonna have to stick it outside for now, and I'll figure out how that fits in later, because I might have to move everything around. But anyway, we'll just do that. No suitable hammer, okay? Yeah, I might just have to move a few things around, like these chests. But to do that, we have to empty them. You can only move empty chests. So I'll sort that out off camera. One survival point obtained, all right, and build excellent forge, okay, that's what we got the survival point for. Now crafting, what does that give us? I'm guessing there might be tech involved here, so I'm not seeing anything different than before. Oh, musket base, there we go. Pistol base, saber blade, yeah, these two. All right, I'll make those off camera and see what it does. But as mentioned, I understand that the weapons, the firearms, aren't as good as things like the crossbow and the saber right now, but we'll just see how that develops because it's new to this update. So anything else? That's basically it. We did bring back a bunch of trophies because remember there were a lot of crocs. I couldn't figure out where to put them, so I just lined all the croc heads up there underneath or above the boar heads. Condors were pretty big, so I stuck them up in the bedroom. So you see, quite large, but they fit into that space quite nicely. All the cat heads and everything, and yep, that's the bedroom. So that was basically it from what we had at Sulphur Island. So the next thing is we're going to be heading off to Crocodile Island. If we just go to map. Now the story is asking us to go to Silver, but given that we've got the blue frogs, and I understand that there is... yeah, as mentioned, I did go there before, and I just made the dock there. Right there, so that we had a quick way in there, and I mapped from the top of the boat. I actually did not go into Crocodile Island at all, so mapping from the top of the boat showed us that this is what we've got waiting for us there. So a couple of cats on our left, teepee hut. I think that's where the shaman's going to be. Human potion, got a pig waiting for us, special objects, more pigs, boars rather. And yet more caimans. But that's all we could see from the ship. So let's head off to Crocodile Island now that we've got all this going. Meantime, I will try and fit this thing back in here somewhere. And I'll see you when we get to Crocodile. And here we are on Crocodile Island. So what I did is I put this dock and this little base together before we arrived. And if we just hit M, as previously mentioned, I did some mapping from the top of the ship here, and we can see that we've got this rocky kind of labyrinth thing on our left-hand side, and this is where the shaman's going to be. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a bunch of stuff. I've got all the potions and meds with us, food, water, but also a sleeping bag because we are going to be doing some mining. So all we're going to do today is there are a couple of things to do in that labyrinth. And we're just going to do one of them, and that is go find the copper and the iron. And we're going to do that first, and there's a very good reason for that, because if you do the second thing first, second thing being, well, I'll cover that in a second. Let's just go speak to the shaman. It's a little bit convoluted. Very dramatic. Okay, so you got this situation here where you got this guy, press E, enter, end conversation. So we can't talk to him because we don't have a common language. So new goal, finding a common language. So you've got this thing, platform with a notch, requires plate with native symbols. So that's one thing that you find in this labyrinth up ahead of us here. The other thing is an iron mine and also a copper mine. Now, if you go find the things that you need to be able to find this thing here, the plate with the native symbols, it shuts off access to the iron and copper mines from what I can tell. So it means that if you want to hit the mines, you have to do that first. So that's what we're going to do. Hit the mines, and then we're going to go deal with finding that plate so that we can speak to the shaman. First things first, we do have this potion here. Let's grab it. So if you just look at the map here, if you go straight ahead, you're going to find, you have to find a number of things to be able to access the plate that allows you to talk to the shaman. To do that, you have to clear through this cat, and then keep going around here. But if you want access to the mines, then you ignore the cat on your left there and you cut through here instead. I'm not sure the cat attacks us from there, so let's do this. Cut down. I've got a feeling we might run into a cat or two doing it this way, but so we turn right here, which avoids the cat. And it takes us into uncharted territory. If we hit mapping here, we don't have altitude, so it doesn't help us a lot. So this is why we brought so many mapping things. Firstly, I do hear a cat. Oh, there he is. Okay, that's one of 4 cats down. So let's just take the tendons. So he was guarding a mine right here. So another thing, we're going to have to cut through this if we want to avoid taking damage. Let's do this. Oh, there's Ocotillo seeds if we wanted to harvest this, but we don't necessarily want those. So this is the first of the mines. So if we just map again, altitude 4, it's not going to give us much at all. We're going to have to find altitude at some point if we want decent mapping. Go 19, which is a lot. So we do have enough pickaxe for that. It's going to exhaust us. Let's do this. Continue. So we do have it all. But we are exhausted. Which is why we brought the sleeping bag, which we can now place. So let's go through to morning, because we do have food and water, so that's not a problem. Hopefully the weather's better. Not much, but okay. Alright, now the other mine. So if we just press M, let's head off in this direction. So out of the copper mine, turn right. Brings you here. Just going to keep mapping because we're not going to get a lot, but so this is going to bring us to the cats, which we would have met if we had not turned right here. Going to see if we can turn right again rather than go and see the cat there. So that means we will have to dig through here. Let's do this. More Ocotillo seeds if we wanted to harvest. That brings us up here, and you've got that bridge above us. At some point we're going to have to get up there. But seeing that bridge above our head means that we go up here. Find more things to cut through. Liable to run into a cat here, so careful. Now this light here, there is a path up here. Brings you to some seeds. Now we don't have all of the materials required yet, but once we do, then what's going to happen is we put all the materials in here, which is 3 stones, which we don't have. Required items, red stone key, green stone key, blue stone key. And once we do that, this fills up with water, and we get up to a place up there, right there. And that gives us the ability to speak to the shaman. But while we are here at elevation, so we haven't done any of that yet. We haven't gone and got any of the keys, but we can map here. This should give us the whole place. Yep, there you go. And it tells us there's an iron deposit down there, and that's what we want to go for. As mentioned, once you actually get the thing that you need to speak to the shaman, as far as I can see, I can't find a way back to the iron and copper, which suggests you need to do this first. So looks to me like we turn right here. We want to get, no, that takes us back to the copper, so it's this way. And it's going to be around here, and that's going to take us directly to the iron. Get round to our left. And iron should be straight ahead. On our right, and there it is. Nice. Let's get this closer because we're going to be overweight again. And we are going to have to... yeah, we may as well just repair this now. So let's do this. Take all the iron. And that puts us at maximum weight already, which tells us to go home. So let's do that. And then come back and deal with the cats and also the finding the mechanism to speak to the shaman later. So what I'm going to do is going to head home, avoiding the cats, and I'm going to call the episode here. And then we're going to start again at the ship for the next episode, and then we're going to go deal with these cats here and start picking up what we need to visit that site to get the translation gear for the shaman. And that's what we'll do next episode. But once we'll do that, but we're also going to go around this area if we've got time. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.